I am the Keystone Stitcher. Today is, what is it, 27th? I don't know. It's almost the end of January. I'm done with January. It has been a crazy month. Today we are officially above freezing. We've been down in the single digits. We've got sun. So at some point here, I'm heading outside. It may be only in the 30s, but that is warm enough for me to go get some fresh air. But right now we're going to do a Flosstube. For those of you who are joining me in my football game that I've done, here are your numbers to eliminate. Eliminate on the NFC side number 6 and on the AFC side number 2. That means that the game is pretty much over. The only remaining projects that you should have on your list will be number 2 on the NFC side and number 1 on the AFC side. So there is a week off now for those of you who don't follow football, but I know tomorrow you know nothing about football. There is not a game this Sunday. They play these weird games. Long story, don't like it. And then on the following Sunday, they will have the Super Bowl. So that means I have 2 weeks of stitching on these 2 projects that I have left. And just in case you're curious, my last 2 projects are Eyes of the Forest and Steampunk Santa. So each of those projects will now get 5 days. I'll work on them Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends I'll work on whatever because I just need a little bit more variety. So that's where those. So next week I will come back in 2 weeks, and I'll come back the day after the Super Bowl. So the Monday, so not next Monday, the following Monday, and I'll show you everything that I've done and where everything is. But for now, let's look at the projects that yesterday were eliminated. And not only am I sad to see these go away, but the 2 teams these were associated with were the 2 teams that I was hoping would go to the Super Bowl. Because the other 2 teams that now won and are going, they were in 2 years ago and they played each other. And I just wanted to see different. I wanted to see some new teams. But now let's get into actual cross stitch. So the first one eliminated is my focus piece for the year. It's one of 2 to finish, and this is Strength by Nicolee Payne, and here's what she'll look like when she's done. This is charted by UnconventionalXStitch, and I'm doing this on a Very Light Pewter 18 count Aida by Zweigart. And here, I'll pull her back. Here she is. And what I was working on was trying to finish. I did a little bit more on her eye down here, but then I came back up here and I was trying to finish that page. So I will put a image here, probably on this side, of where that section looked like last time you saw it. So for this one, before the game started, I was at 33.67%. I'm now at 34.80%. And yes, this is the one, you can see the bottom there. This is the one that I would like to finish this year. And I'm thinking it's going to take until about fall, but I do think it will be done this year. So that's number 1. Let me set this over here aside. The second one that was eliminated yesterday is Masquerade. This is artwork by Christopher Lovell, charted by UnconventionalXStitch. I'm stitching this on a 16 count Aida that I dyed myself. This one went from 2.05 to 3.69%. This was a little bit smaller than Strength. And with this one, I had finished the center page. I'm doing this one no background. I had the center top page done, and after that, everything that I've done is to outline some of the areas. So you can see here the horn, but this is all 939 that I've put in. I'll bring this in a little bit. Over here, this big round arch, that will be the moon. You can see here some of the feathers coming in. So yeah, I'm not sure how much further I will outline everything in the 939, but at some point, because I'm really itching to see these areas filled in, because this is just beautiful. But for now, this was fun. And yeah, I think it'll be easier because I'm removing the background. I think it'll be easier to just get all this in, at least a couple rows at a time, and then fill it in rather than constantly looking to see what it is that I'm eliminating. So those were my 2 projects that I worked on for this past week. Okay, and then I have almost a finish. I thought it was a finish. And then I have some new starts. And we'll get into why I have the new starts. So let's do the almost finished. This is a bookmark for my granddaughter. This is, well, I don't have to show you what it's supposed to look like. This is it's actually the title on Etsy is Anime Inspired Bookmark, excuse me. And it's by Pattern Design Studio. And I was so excited when I put in the last stitch. This had been at 60%. So I basically did most of this. I filled in the ear, and but yeah, I was so excited, and I went in to delete my files, and for whatever reason, when I went into Dropbox and I went to hit the little button to give me my options, it opened the file, and when it opened the file, I realized I had backstitch to do. So this is done except for the backstitch. So you'll see this one more time, well, at least one more time. I know how I'm going to finish it, so that's all set to go. So then I have a new start because that was almost done. So I thought, okay, I'm going to start another gift, and this one is called Office, or The Office. Let me see here. And this one is by Stitcharea. And I know a lot of people have done this. This is on Whimsical, I think. It's by Picture This Plus. It's an 18 count. I know other people have done The Office and said there were a lot of fractional stitches. So I actually reached out and talked to the designer, the shop owner, and she said, well, there's backstitch. I said, no, do I have to, pierce things to get a stitch in? And she said no. So I have not found any fractionals. I think we were able to communicate enough that she knew what I was asking, because looking at the chart and so far everything I've stitched is there are no fractionals. So bring it a little bit closer and you can see, this shows up a lot better in person than it's showing up on the screen. But yeah, so that was the next one. So then I thought, you know what? I've been itching to see what that panic kit looks like. I'm going to start that. And I knew this was a little bit bigger. And all these starts now are inspired by Lisa. She's e-crafting in Colorado. And Elisa, she did a kit parade here just a few days ago. And I thought, okay, I can get a lot of stitching done. It was about an hour and a half long. And I thought, I want to no-buy, but she has really great taste. Let me see what she has. She has a lot of kits. And she started with a bin of smalls. And I'm going to paraphrase here, but she kept saying, this wouldn't take long at all to finish. I don't know why I haven't started this. I could have this done in no time. This would take a day. This would take a weekend. And I thought, I have a lot of those too. Mine are kits, mostly. I have one kit. And she had like Mill Hill kits and little Just Nan. And I thought, if I gave them a day here or there, I bet you I could get them done too. But I did start with a larger one. I started with my panic kit just because I was itching. This is the panic kit. Sorry for the sun. This is the panic kit, and I changed out the fabric, and I started it. So I started right in the center because I just wanted to get it there. And yeah, I was enjoying this until I went to put the next stitch in, and I had come from here, and then I jumped over here and did all this, and then I was going to come back up and fill in. And when I did, you can see where my thread is, I found that all of this is one stitch too high. So I did not feel like ripping out more than half of what I stitched. This is Pandora. It's an 18 count by theSewingShop.ca. So this went away. I was done. So at that point, I said, okay, I'm going to do the projects that I think I can finish in a very short amount of time. So this first one is called Spring. And I've had this, I bought this in January, mid-January of 2021. So I've had it for 4 years. And I knew, so I'm going to put, before we do that, let me put an image of the pattern. So this is the cover sheet. I'm doing the top one, which I'll show you a close-up in a moment. The shop says that Spring, the top one, the green, is sold out, but the red one and the gray one are still available. So this is by Mika Stitch Design on Etsy. I'm doing this on 18 count Mystic, and I never wanted to do the whole design. So here's the one I'm actually doing. I never wanted to do the whole design the way it was. When I saw this, I thought that would be really cute to do those individually and turn them into ornaments, because I have this tree that I can put up for Easter. And I have this tree I can put some stuff on for Easter. And so I started it. This is an 18 count Mystic. So I'm going to put it back up on the screen. This is the far left. This is the one directly next to that one. And this is the one on the far right, the very end one. So bring those in. And so these ones are done. The so-called white is $37.56. And then this green is $9.13, and this is $9.58. And I haven't looked to see what the color is, but that middle one is a turquoise, and I can't wait. So I did this one. I started this one Saturday night. I started at 9:30 at night, and I was done with it by 11. It was done, put away. So then this one and this one I did Sunday. So I have 2 more to do, and that'll be done. So every now and then I'll pull this out, and I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give it a little bit, not quite that much, but just a little bit of the blue, which is why I use this fabric, to stand out so that these colors will really pop when I put them up. I figured if I put these on a white or even a lighter background, they'd be pretty, but if when these are displayed you could see that blue, you would see the colors, you know, same as when you're using black. I hate stitching on black, but if you put something on black, the colors really shine. So that's why this is on Mystic, and this one should be done in really no time. So at that point I went through my stuff and started looking, what else do I have that's really small? And I'm not going to show you all of them, but I thought, you know, I've got all these ornaments from the Just Cross Stitch magazines. I have other ornaments that I've bought that are in my Dropbox. I have, now this will be one that, here we go, let me do it this way. This is a Mill Hill that I finished. Now this came with perforated paper, but I thought I'd like to kind of stuff it and make it egg-shaped, you know, make it 3-dimensional. So this is a 2-sided one. There's the back. But I never fully finished it because I wanted to do its companion. I have the yellow one. So I think this one was called Teal. It's either blue or teal. I think it's teal. And then this one is just called Yellow Chick. Yeah, Yellow Chick. And these are Jim Shore Mill Hill kits. So I thought if I can finish this one, and these, I mean, you can see they're tiny. Let me show you here. So, you know, if I put my hand up to it, these are really small. So that'll be another one. And with Easter, the next holiday coming up, these are probably the ones I'll work towards finishing. So, as I mentioned, my last 2 projects, I will work on them each 5 days, Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends I'll do whatever I want. Now there's going to be times on the weekends that what I really want is my full coverage, and that's fine. But where I had planned to do my focus stitching, and I have 2 focuses, Strength and then the other is Eyes of the Forest. So Strength will get 3 weeks, Eyes of the Forest will get 1, is how I'm planning it. And then when Eyes of the Forest is done, I'll replace it with another one, and so on. But I always thought my weekends would be my full coverage, my other pieces, to work down and get them going. But now I'm thinking I'm going to mix these little ones in, thanks to Elisa, and see how many of these I can get done this year. So before I let you go, that's kind of the future plans here. I do want to mention a couple Flosstubers that are new. One is new to me and two are new to Flosstube. Sorry, I cut my hair and it's driving me crazy. Every now and then I get a look at it. It's not laying quite right today. Okay, so anyway, with Whip Parades in January, once you start watching Whip Parades, YouTube will suggest other channels. And so with that, I first found Marika Stitches. She's from Sweden, and she does a mixture of projects. She does have full coverage. I know she's working on one by UnconventionalXStitch. She does a vlog style, which is kind of cool. I enjoy her personality. I enjoy her voice. So yeah, check her out. And I'll put all of these down in the description box. I'll put the name on the screen as well. So this is Marika Stitches. That way, if you don't feel like going to the description box, you can get it right off the screen. The next one, and please forgive me if I mispronounced your name, Weirdy's Stitching Corner. It's W-E-I-R-D-E-Y. She just started a month ago. Her channel's been live for 1 month, and she started with Whip Parade. She does a variety of things, but she does mostly full coverage. And then there's On, and she is from Austria, and she's been on Flosstube now for 2 months, and she does variety. She does more small, not real small, but you know, but she does a lot of kits. She does Marichka, she does things like that. So check them out. I will put them all down below so you can go find them, give them some love, you know, help them grow their channels. And with that, I hope you are doing well, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.